Hello again. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching this real estate crash in real time here on this channel. Now, it's been a while since I've updated this here home buying recipe, but I'm guessing we're going to have an update within the next month or so because right now the latest data is from July and the August and September arrears seem to have really shot up on the MLS system. So that will obviously translate to that CBA, the Central Bankers Association stats sooner or later. But regardless, real estate prices are at decades low when we compare it to real money. Check this out. So I just completed this chart last night and I was comparing real estate prices to gold price and Canadian dollars, not just the US dollar gold price, but I converted to Canadian dollars. And I got some information on it. It was from goldprice.org. And of course, the CREA stats, the Canadian Real Estate Association, the average price, monthly price that I track. So this is a monthly chart here. And right now we're at 140 ounces of gold. That is very low. You'd have to go back to like 1980 when it was around 95. You could argue whatever, 95 to 110 ounces for it to have been that low. Gold obviously shot up at that point, and real estate wasn't doing so well. Lots of inflation around that time too. But gold usually sits, or the house prices usually sit compared to gold between 200 to 330 ounces for the last 15 years or so. You can see it's been pretty consistent. But all of a sudden, as house prices slowly come down and gold price shoots up, again, real money, we see it is never been lower, or for decades low for that matter. One thing I want to talk about this week, and nobody's talking about this part of the issue. So we've all seen this guy, Anand Sangare, or whatever his name is, the public safety minister, and he was caught, shooting his mouth off in front of a tenant. But when this news story originally came out, they didn't say tenant, and I'm going to read it to you here, and then we're going to look at some other things right after this. So, of course, at the top here, Anand Sangare says, misguided comments were recorded without his knowledge. Right below the picture there, it says, was recorded suggesting an acquaintance should not worry if he were to hand over his banned firearms. So this is where this guy, this public safety minister, was talking to somebody. They recorded him. Obviously, they don't really care that much for this guy because they recorded him and made this public. And they had him saying that it was just a waste of time, this firearm buyback. And he would actually give him the difference from what the government's going to subsidize him. He would even make up the difference to this guy. And if he did get arrested, this guy would bail him out. So he made a lot of promises to this guy. But I just want to read, again, they're beating around the bush and trying to avoid the most important issue in this story, according to me. And again, nobody's talking about this, but I caught it because I pay attention to details sometimes. Now, this is 100% relevant to real estate, mind you. So here is, again, this is one of the initial reportings on this subject. In a statement issued by his office Monday, Anna Sangare said the conversation took place with an individual I have known for many years who recorded it without my knowledge before it was distributed by a gun lobbyist. So it was an individual he's known for many years, okay? So not really putting it into context. He goes on to say, in trying to address this individual's frustrations, my comments were misguided. The article says, in an audio recording of a conversation Sunday with an unidentified gun owner. So they were really hiding the fact, like, I've known this person for many years, he's an acquaintance, whatever they were saying about the situation. Turns out it was his tenant. So, of course, alarm bells go off to me. Tenant, okay, how many properties, or is this guy a landlord? Like, how many properties does he own? So, of course, into the disclosure for the MP disclosures here. And here we have him, Gary and Sangare. I've actually been waiting for our housing ministers, but it's been like 6 months. It still says it's an initial compliance process. Like, they haven't released this. And this guy's supposedly like a multimillionaire with rental properties. But anyway, so I go through this guy's disclosure, again, trying to avoid the whole tenant thing, but it did come out that it was one of his tenants and he's having a conversation. Now, this tenant must not like him too much to record this conversation and put it out there. So I would say, like, he's not a friend, he's not an acquaintance, maybe an acquaintance, but he was there in person at this house collecting rent. Who knows what he was doing there? but having this conversation, and it was not a nice conversation. So here we have the assets joint ownership with another person of 2 rental properties located in Toronto, Ontario. So he has 2 rental properties right there. I don't know how many units these things are, but there's 2 of them. Spouse, common law partners assets, sole ownership of a rental property located in Toronto, sole ownership of a real property that is not used by me or my spouse as a principal residence or for recreational purposes located in Toronto, Ontario. So 1 rental with the spouse and a real property that they don't use for any purpose, no purpose, not primary, recreational, nothing. And anyway, so, and of course it goes on, talks about her assets there and sources of income, last 12 months, rental income, next 12 months, rental income. Now here we get into the liabilities, mortgages and whatnot. And this kind of really gets confusing. This is minimum disclosure in my opinion. So he has a mortgage with BMO, responsible for a mortgage with TD, guarantor for a mortgage with RBC, personal loan with RBC, notice of material change, date of change, whatever. Mortgage with BMO, which replaces one I had with TD, and that was disclosed publicly under the Conflict of Interest Act. I'm still responsible for a mortgage with TD. So he's got like 3 mortgages going on there. And then the spouse here has 2 mortgages with BMO, home equity line of credit with BMO, personal loan with Scotiabank. So it seems like, again, another politician here has this real estate empire that they've built, and he's going there. Now it's literally directly affecting his business. He's having conversations with these tenants, and they're ratting him out for things he said about rules they're making or he's making or he's responsible for enforcing. So not a good look there. But again, just another politician with a bunch of rental properties. And I don't know, did he buy any of these while he was a minister? I'd like to know. I'd also like to have a conversation with that tenant or an interview with that tenant, because I would love to know what they have to say about all this and what kind of a landlord he is. All right, quick update on the iPro Realty. So iPro Realty stole all this money, $10 million plus, and now RICO is coming down on them after a bunch of public pressure. Again, if you haven't seen, you probably saw this, but just in case you haven't, big scandal that's going on. 2,400 agents. Now they transferred all their agents, or tried to transfer all their agents to iCloud Realty. They're a new real estate company that was approved by RICO on this whole scandal. And I just wanted to do an update on how many agents actually made it there. So here you have 939 realtors currently registered through realtor.ca. I'm looking here with iCloud Realty, which is the continuation of iPro Realty. They had 2,400. Now they have 939. I'm surprised they actually have that many based on what happened. I'd be a little scared if, there was stuff like that going on and I worked for a big brokerage. But anyway, they managed to retain that many, but took a big hit there. And they have 26 offices, mind you, or 26 locations. And here they are, office search results, 1 of 20. So 26 offices there. I thought they had 17 locations, but it shows 26 and all iCloud Realty. A lot of bills to pay. Check out this post here from G. McThink. Anyone who doesn't believe this is exacerbating the housing crisis in Toronto is simply wrong. Made in Canada, I guess, posted this. This map is showing 8,358 Airbnb listings in Toronto. Yeah, look at all those. Just imagine you could have 8,000 more listings for sale or for rent, for long-term rentals instead of the short-term. But yeah, let me know in the comments. Do you think Airbnb is like a systemic issue with our real estate supply and market in Canada? I would say it is, because I'd like to know how many are in Canada as a whole and how many properties have been taken away from families that are now vacation rentals or mini hotels. And just another quick message from a politician, and this time it's a message of hope. We don't get enough of this in real estate, and a little bit of empathy here, but I think it's well said, and I think this is much needed for the future, giving the young people, again, hope that things will get better, and hopefully they do. But yeah, just listen to this. It's just a minute long.
I have a message today for every young man across Canada. Everyone who feels anxious about his future because he works hard and can't get ahead. Everyone who wonders if the struggle is worth it. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. You are not the problem in this country. In fact, you are a big part of the solution. You deserve better leadership in Canada. You deserve a government that empowers you to live up to your potential. And the reality is that that's not the case right now. You deserve better. And a brighter future is possible. A future where you are valued and encouraged, a future where you are treated like a priority. We need you, and we need you to speak clearly, tell the truth, organize, and be undeniable. We need you to help us restore the North.
And I think that was a great message to share with young Canadians. All right, now lastly, let's move to Facebook. I don't spend a lot of time on Facebook. I used to. I really don't go on there at all. Maybe, once every week or two. Sometimes I go to Marketplace, and I have a club membership there with my boat club. I go on there, but I don't really engage. Find it's really not my style. I like to stick to business and stuff on X. But anyway, this is the assignment sale in GTA Ontario page. 33,000 members. This thing gets like 40 to 50 posts a day of assignment sales going on here. So I just want to read a few of them just to show you what's going on with a lot of these assignments and new builds and whatnot, and kind of what's happening on this site. I believe it's the biggest one on Facebook. Again, I don't spend a lot of time on here. Seller walking away from deposit. Anyone looking for an assignment sale townhouse in Cambridge, 700,000 Ravine lot, closing ASAP. List price $910, original price $1,055,900, deposit paid $206,000. So they're walking away from their deposit, and this is what a lot of people are doing on the assignment sales. They're walking away, but a lot of them have to lose more than just a deposit. They're going to have to even kick in more money to get out of these things. Another one, buyer walking away from deposit. One, Crosstown Condos, East Towers. Asking price $529,900, original price $629,900, deposit almost $100,000, $94,000, walking away, and again, might be still overpriced. I'm not an expert in that area. Don't miss this $300,000 loss in downtown Toronto Distillery District. Huge deal with parking, 2-bedroom, and yeah, they have all the details there. List price $699,900, original price $999,000. Deposit paid and 150, further deposit another 50,000. I don't know where they get the other 100. I don't see $200,000. But anyway, or maybe they're subsidizing the sale price at the end of it. But $300,000 off there. Again, not familiar with the area. I don't know if that's a deal or not. There's another one, assignment sale. Let me see. List price $1,219,000. Original price. So that's more than $300,000. 233 or 234,000 plus another $78,000 in deposits. And yeah, that's a big losses there. Well over 300,000. Look at the one comment. Yeah, still $500,000 too much, they say. Even one up in Muskoka there, 375,000. Original price $420,000. I literally just keep going through these. It says September 23rd, but this was just reposted again yesterday. Bro is selling a toilet for $400K. It's 367 square feet. Wow, I missed that part. Let me see here. Yeah, 367 square feet. 0 bed, 1 bath. That's funny. Seller taking massive $227,000 loss. 1 bed, 1 bath at St. Clair Village for only $499. So I guess pre-construction deal was a lot more than that, but $227,000 below builder price. Seller taking $262K off loss. Off loss. It's off loss there. Anyway, yeah, another one there. $272K below builder price. Well, the builder overcharged maybe. Move-in ready deal. 2-bed plus media at Galleria on the Park. A seller takes $130,000 loss. Iconic One Delisle. Seller taking $266,000 loss on stunning 2-bed, 2-bath plus parking in Midtown. Rare deal, 1 bed, 1 bath, $448,000. Seller taking $124,000 loss. So they're just giving up their deposits, all these people. Town assignment sale, selling at a $50,000 loss, asking $664,000 or $665,000 in St. Catharines. $665,000 for a townhouse in St. Catharines. No thanks. They're going to have to take a bigger loss than that. Fire assignment sale, Burke condo, 15% deposit, loss, $115,000 plus they're losing on this one. I could go on all day with these. One more here. The last one here, again, there's thousands of these on here. Seller taking $196,000 loss on luxury real estate, 4,000 square foot detached property at Eagles Rest, wherever that is, in the middle of nowhere, I guess. All right, that's all for this week. Thank you for making it to the end. As always, leave your comments below, and I'll see you next time.